What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy back with another video. First and foremost, I hope you are all doing well wherever you may be in the world. Thanks for tuning back in. This is my first video this year. It's been an absolute minute. I don't know, man. Every time I've stood in front of this camera in this exact same setup like half dozen times over the last couple months. Every time I'm not happy with the result. So I end up scrapping the video and not posting anything. So this time I'm gonna go for it. And my idea is that this will be like a series of little vignettes. All the parts of the previous videos that didn't quite make sense in their own context, I'm just gonna slop and chop them up and put them here. So maybe there'll be annotations or, chapters or whatever they're called. So you can just kind of click around and see whatever you're interested in. The first part of this video is going to be viewer requested, the very popular pickups. It's a little bit embarrassing because in my mind, I've reduced my spending on clothes considerably this year. I went through my closet to pick out all the pieces that I knew that I hadn't talked about since my last video in November. And I was actually baffled at how many things there were. And yeah. Okay, so we've got about a dozen pickups or so. We're gonna start with accessories. This is the new backpack that I bought. This is a Visvim 22 liter. You see that? Visvim 22 liter. Some of you guys might remember a couple years ago, I did a video highlighting some of my essentials. One of the essentials was a black Visvim backpack that I had for several years. This is kind of the big brother to it. This is the 22 liter, like I said. So it has a little bit more room and it has kind of a more traditional backpack shape with this outer pocket right here. I just needed something a little bit bigger. I do this remote hybrid work thing where if I'm in the office, which is away from home, I need to kind of pack clothes and stuff for work for the office. And this kind of holds like 2 to 3 days worth of equipment. If you can find one of these, or the 20 liter or the 25 liter if you need something even larger, if you can find one of these in the hundreds range, I highly recommend them because they are actually fantastic. If you guys want to see more of the details of the backpack, check out that other video. It's basically the same thing. Big, luscious zippers that sound incredible. A little side compartment, stash pocket here. The only new thing is, like I said, this front pocket that just unzips. The 20 liter had a vertical pocket here. Yeah, super beautiful 22 liter Visvim backpack. All right, next order of business is t-shirts. I get a lot of questions asking where to buy t-shirts from because everybody needs t-shirts. These are the most ubiquitous things. Finding the right t-shirt is actually like a spiritual journey, if you ask me, because there's so many options and so many subtle variations. And once you get into it at a certain point, you really start caring about little details. Like if you have a dozen different t-shirts in your closet, I'm gonna guess that you gravitate to 1 or 2 or 3 out of that dozen more than the rest. At least that's how I was. And so being the obsessive kind of personality that I have, I wanted to figure out exactly why I chose that one t-shirt over the rest, and then identify other t-shirts that fulfill the same criteria so that I literally don't pick the same thing every time. Some of the things that I identified were the color, the fit, and the hand feel of the fabric. Previously, a lot of my tees were Uniqlo U, which I still think are a fantastic purchase for the money. They're like 10 to 15, maybe $20 now. There's always a ton of different colors, and you know that you can get them regularly on Uniqlo's web store or whatever. The problem with those is, for me at least, they are quite thick. And here in LA, I mean, it's April and it's already 80, 90 degrees. I would get way too hot. I do get way too hot wearing them during the summer. And so the t-shirts that I've selected, including the one that I'm wearing, all from John Elliott, I wound up in a store and I had the chance to kind of feel and see and try on a lot of the tees, which I previously hadn't. And I genuinely love them. I did the reasonable thing, which was then go on Grailed and lowball a bunch of people selling the same t-shirt, and I got these four. I got these all significantly below retail in various sizes, either 3 or 4. So that's the way the cookie crumbles, man. If you are selling t-shirts, John Elliott t-shirts, and you get a low ball in your messages, it's probably from me. So this one is the Folsom tee. It has like this distressing detail along the neck. And then what I do is I patch it up myself to kind of give it less of a dingy appearance. Still kind of give it that lived-in look that I so much love. These are university tees. These are like a slightly older model. But what I like about these is the hand feel of the cotton, and then also the single stitch detailing, because I am a sucker for single stitch. That's nice. Also, one criteria for t-shirts for me is kind of a looser collar. I don't like tight collars. I bought a bunch of vintage single stitch blanks and I hated them all because the collar was so tight. That's one of the reasons why I ended up buying these. This is the interval tee, which is basically the Folsom tee. It has that same, the feeling of this fabric is so nice. I love it so much. This is basically the Folsom tee, but without the distressing. And that's what I wanted. I didn't want to have to patch up another shirt. Moving up the body. The next piece that I want to show you guys is, this is one of my favorite hoodies of all time that I was able to snag off my friend Jonathan because it was too big on him. This is the Olive Amp Plus hoodie from Fall Winter 2020. The reason why I like this hoodie so much is because of the fabric. This is a roofy cotton that is like this low gauge, kind of loosely woven French terry-like material that I absolutely love. Something about that fabric is so comforting. Every time you put it on, it's just comfortable and it's not too light, it's not too heavy. And the wonderful thing about the Amp Plus cut, like I've said in my previous videos, is that it's quite wide and just cropped enough. This uneven dye gives it these really beautiful variations of color. And then of course you have your crash detailing along the hem, very subtle, kind of distressing. Tastefully done. Tastefully done. Outerwear time. This is, as some of you may know, like my toxic trait. There is no need for me to have this many jackets or to be buying this many jackets at this time of the year, but here I am. All right, so the first jacket on the list was the first one that I got, and I actually got this right before Christmas. This is the Visvim Willard Crash jacket. It's from the Fall Winter 2020 Spot Collection. Spot collections are like the transitional collections between the mainline seasons. They'll either have pieces made from like leftover fabrics, or they'll serve as a way to introduce silhouettes for the next season. In this case, this is one of those like one-off, we had extra olive herringbone fabric, let's make like a cool new shirt out of it. This is based on an older Visvim silhouette, but like I've said in previous videos, the new Visvim cut is to have a lot more room in the chest and have drop shoulders. So this is like an oversized shirt jacket situation with all this distressing detail all over it, based off of a classic World War II officer uniform. And what I love most about this is the fabric. Visvim does an incredible herringbone fabric in my opinion. And then on the buttons say VSVM on them. It's such a silly little detail. One thing that I'm really proud of about this jacket is this distressing is actually all done by me, in a sense. All this distressing here and the back too, all of that was blue denim patches underneath because I am a little bit crazy. I wanted to have a more tonal look. So I took off all of the patches and then I used leftover fabrics that I had in my fabric drawer and redid it all myself. So it was a really fun time, and I have some footage of it that I'm going to show you guys later. The next piece on the list, this is an iris jacket from Visvim's 2021 Spot collection, so the collection that dropped after Fall Winter 2021 and before the current Spring Summer 2022. Like I said, their classic iris jacket, which is based on a liner. This isn't a liner jacket, this is just a jacket. So it's meant to go as a top layer rather than a middle layer. This is like one of my favorite Visvim silhouettes of all time, and it's one of the most popular for the brand for sure. It's been done dozens of times across different colors and materials. But what drew me to this was the coloration. This is this beautiful khaki nylon. You've got the green zipper rail detailing as well as beautiful olive herringbone on the cuff. And the reason why the Iris is such a wonderful jacket is because it is fully reversible. And the interior on this one is like this golden caramel honey colored, which is just beautiful. I immediately gravitated towards this when I saw the color. And what's crazy is because, like I said, this is a spot release. They're produced in extremely limited quantities, and this was the only size that they had in the store. This is a size 4. As you can see, it's quite large. I didn't like the length that much, so I had to take it to my tailor, and this was like the scariest moment in my life because I have never had my tailor do something this intense, so to speak. But my tailor removed an inch off the bottom, and she did a fantastic job. So I would say that this now fits closer to a 3 in length, but a 4 in the width and in the arms, kind of cropped in the body along in the sleeves. Visvim Iris jacket. Oh my God, okay, let me get a drink of water. We're done with all the tops. Let's go below the belt. This is a category that I am always a little bit nervous to explore because I'm really picky about how pants look and feel and fit. And so even if I buy a new pair of pants, there's a high likelihood I'm either going to scrap it for another project or sell it. But these two pants are trousers that I am looking forward to wearing in the summer. I've already kind of beta tested them within the house and I feel comfortable wearing them. It's time to get a fit off in these boys. The first pair is, surprise, surprise, a pair of Visvim pants. These are the pastoral pants from, I think, spring, summer 2018 in this beautiful beige colorway. This is a classic Visvim silhouette, straight leg, high rise, made out of a sort of like a Dickies material, but different. I can't really describe how or why. The material feels more, yeah, I was looking for just like a nice comfortable pant to wear for the summer and like a really comfortable casual chino style pant. Never thought I'd hear myself say those words, but I wanted to try it out. And I saw these on Grailed for a good price. So far I really like them. They're like a classic 5-pocket design, 2 side pockets here, 2 pockets in the back with these really cool horn buttons that I really like. Darting on the back, and then my favorite detail that Visvim does on their pants is this little coin pocket right here. Second pair of pants that I bought is not from Visvim. These are double RL. I think these are just called the herringbone pants or something, but they are based on a classic Baker pant with the slash pockets in the front, beautiful herringbone twill, which as you guys know is one of my favorite fabrics and textures, flat pockets in the back with buttons, and these little waist adjusters on the side. This is a size 32 waist, 34 inseam. They're super high rise, super baggy, kind of like a classic military pant silhouette, and honestly I probably would have sized down to a 30 or a 31 because of how high the rise is. So for now I just do the waist adjusters and I cinch it tight with a belt. I think it looks great, it's comfortable, it's a lighter weight fabric, which again, summertime, I'm trying to just go for something simple and easy. So yeah, that is all the fucking pickups. God damn, I am so tired.
And I don't wanna talk too much, I don't know enough to say. You're the one who gets to say no. I've been down, There she go, she don't fall in love, oh no, someone save her. Why you won't let go when you're at? Does she wanna talk or nothing? Yeah.
Waited to, fuck, how do you do this? There we go. Yeah boy. Haystack Rock, Cannon Beach, Oregon coast. It's supposed to be shitty weather, but look at that. Sun in the sky. It's a little cloudy, but the pics look crazy. Look at that, sun in the face. Jeez. Nice drive through the mountains. Got some coffee. It'd be so crazy to run this. Like if you just lived in one of these houses where you're just staying here for like a week or something. Every morning, just run this beach.
Every dog is wearing like a little sweater or like a jacket. So cute.
Best one was the Carhartt one. Vintage Carhartts for dogs. Hell yeah. Wow.
Buddy's now gonna do a montage of all the dogs running.
It's so nice here. Yeah, hella misty. Woo! Picturesque. Shout out the Oregon coast. It's every bit as beautiful as I thought it would be. It's a little funny seeing all these people doing the exact same shit. Just taking pictures. But it's still so nice, man. Look at that. That's just incredible.
Yeah, you got me down, 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 down. Where she going round, 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 round. Shawty, I'm not acting myself, what I gon' say? Where she going down, 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 down. Where she going round, 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 round. Shawty, I'm not acting myself, what I gon' say? Ooh, can't stop, watch me ride there. Bitch, I'll make it to the top. Cause I'll be down, 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 down. Where she going round, 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 round. Shawty, I'm not acting myself, what I gon' say? Where she going down, 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 down. Where she going round, 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 round. Shawty, I'm not acting myself, what I gon' say? Ooh, what I'm gon' say? Yeah. What I'm gon' say?
So of all these vintage shirts, you had to choose the one that cost $500.
Yeah, let me find it. It's really cool. Oh, this one.
That's $500? God damn. That is really cool. No way. Why is this $500?
I don't know.
I mean, it is really soft.
It's super soft. I would never be able to wash these. This one's blank.
Yeah, it's too small for me though. This is the problem with most of these blanks. I wish I was a 5'9", 130 pounds. Another Boy Scout tee. You know, we fucks with the Boy Scout tees.
I really like this one.
Yeah.
I like the red lettering.
I like the typography on it. $500 though. Jesus. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Kissing Booth is a little vibe right here. Got that sorority wear.
Oh, man one. ASAP.
Do you think this would fit you?
No.
I wonder if the head's for sale to add to your head collection.
I know. I have 3 heads.
What do you try on? A little cropped boy. Color, sick. All right, so people love when influencers eat.
Why?
It's not a mukbang, but I don't know, people on YouTube just love when other YouTubers eat and rate their food. So we're at the Chong in Portland, and all right, we got the
Make the smallest little bite that I can.
the shrimp ceviche.
So I don't look messy on camera.
Oh, look at that plating.
And then we're gonna put hella onions.
Oh yeah, that's proportional. Survey says, yeah, can't fake that.
So
These potatoes
good.
are insane. They're super well seasoned, and then the shrimp ceviche.
Here.
It's just like, oh, it's like milky, but the onions,
The onions are so good.
crazy.
Okay, just eat, buddy.
I will it. All right, life update. This is our 5th and 6th dish. Let's get that fresh squeeze.
Oh god. It's like the worst.
Ooh, yeah, the acidity just activates. It's a great
lime.
It's a great lime, very juicy.
Beautiful.
You know, these people don't mess around with their limes. No dry limes here whatsoever. We'd have to send this dish back if there was a dry lime, right? It wouldn't just be get us a better lime.
Eat it, then send it back, and then get another one.
Poached mushrooms and lomo saltado. Boom. So this is one of my recent pickups, the Visvim Willard Crash Jacket. It's this beautiful military style shirt, but it's kind of oversized and it's made out of a heavyweight fabric, so it's more of like a shirt jacket, shacket type thing. What you guys are gonna notice is obviously the tons of distressing or crash detailing as they call it. There are just so many details here in the fabric, in the buttons, I mean everything. Here's the back. But as you guys can see, a lot of the distress repairing, they used denim underneath. But from an aesthetic perspective, I think the blue is a little bit too jarring. You can see in some areas they actually did use another olive herringbone fabric. So what I've been doing slowly is using scraps of olive denim that I have. I've been repairing all of these repairs I've done by hand myself. This one was actually just a hole. So this was the first thing that I did. I just patched up this whole thing with this fabric underneath. I think I did a pretty good job. And then I did kind of the smaller ones like right here, and here as well. And part of the charm here is that because the jacket itself is already so distressed, doing quote unquote a shitty job patching it up like this actually lends itself to the charm in my opinion. So my goal eventually is to replace all of the blue. There's these big ones on the back. I mean, these are huge because not only is there this straight stitch that's going across here, but let's see if I can put it on camera. There's this zigzag stitch that goes around the perimeter of the fraying to kind of keep it from further fraying. And that's gonna be really hard to rip out. All right, so this is the inside of the shirt. This is the patch that I'm gonna be removing here. As you can see, we're gonna have to undo all of this stitching right here. And then this blue rectangle should just pop right off and there'll be a hole right there. And then I'm gonna cut out a piece of my own olive fabric and I'm basically just gonna overlock the seams. I don't have a serger, so I just kind of like lazily zigzag it so it doesn't fray too much. And then I'm gonna attempt to, you know, secure it in place. I probably won't do it as cleanly as this. I'm probably gonna do some zigzagging all over. All right, well, I am a crazy dumb bitch. And after I sewed this little square, which you guys saw, I thought, how long would it really take for me to undo this big piece of fabric that used to be right here? And the answer is 30 minutes. So now I have this big gash in my shirt and obviously I can't wear it. So we are going to patch this bad boy up. That looks cute. I'll cut off all these loose threads and shit at the end, but overall, I think that turned out real nice. So a couple weeks ago, I was chatting with my friend Jonathan. I was showing him some of the stuff that I was doing with the DIYs on my own Visvim pieces, and he asked me if I could do some simple mending on one of his most worn items, this incredibly beautiful ICT tunic with the Kofu patchwork. This is like iconic Visvim piece. Yeah, because the fabric is so delicate on this, it rips. Some of the patches have ripped quite a bit, like this one right here, as you can see, which is such a shame because it's a beautiful Kofu piece. And then there's some on the chest as well. This light blue indigo patch is like super soft, super thin cotton. And so he asked me if I could do some basic alterations and kind of reinforce it and mend it. And I told him, of course, not only would it be a chance for me to do something for a friend, but also to kind of exhibit what I've learned. I've never worked with a fabric this delicate, so I'm fingers crossed nothing gets complicated or hairy. I don't anticipate it to, but it'll be fun. And I wanted to bring you guys along for the process, so here we go. So we've pinned in the first fabric swatch here, super easy. I did my best to pin it up along this seam as well, and then very delicately pin it up here because this entire fabric swatch is really, really soft and I don't want to spread the hole any further. So now we're just gonna do a simple stitch over it. All right, so I finished up my alterations on the front and the back of the piece. On the front, as you can see, did this little patch right here with the intentional contrast stitching. This fabric right here, basically on the left chest, is actually so incredibly sheer and thin. I probably need to patch that up too, actually, damn. See how thin that is? These pieces right here are actually backed by a really stiff fabric on the inside. So he told me not to worry about those and not have to patch those up. I need to patch this up before I give it back to him, but this is the front. I'm really happy with how this turned out. It's kind of like, it just looks very organic and the contrast thread doesn't actually look out of place at all. And then on the back, I did all of this over here. I was able to match the kind of orangish, reddish Kofu floral pattern really well with some thread that I had here. It was a little bit lighter down here, so I used a lighter thread. And basically this entire area right here is just reinforced to death because this Kofu patch, especially in this area, was just super thin and pulling. So really, really beautiful. Really happy with how it turned out. I mean, you can kind of see it, but still it blends in really well because, you know, some of the rest of the Kofu floral is kind of faded as well. So really happy with this. Thanks again to Jonathan for believing in me and for letting me attempt, I guess, succeed. Thank you for letting me work on your shirt, and I'll have it back to you soon, sir.